I'm Rick Kaler. Thanks for joining me. Well, in some ways, financial planning is simpler for a single person than a couple. For example, I've never had a single client get into a money fight in my office that made me want to hide under my desk. Seriously though, at the same time, singles have some unique planning needs. If you have never married, are divorced, or widowed, or if you are living with a partner but not married, here are some things that you will want to consider. Number one, unless you're widowed or divorced, or you have minor children, or perhaps you want to leave a large estate to someone and the estate taxes not come out of the estate, you probably don't need life insurance of any kind. Put the money you'd spend on premiums into your retirement fund instead. Two, living and traveling as a single can be almost as expensive as it would be for a couple. Finding a roommate is one obvious way to cut costs, but you might also want to consider possibilities like sharing a duplex with a family member or owning a house jointly with 2 or 3 other people. In any home sharing situation, you need to have clear agreements in writing and be sure to consult an attorney for any complex arrangements. Long-term care and disability insurance are especially important for singles because obviously they don't have partners or they don't have children that could care for them. So put some serious thought and follow this by action into planning for your care in case of a serious illness in old age. Next, owning a pet can add a great deal of enjoyment to your life. That's backed up by a lot of research. The fifth one is stay active and involved with a network of friends and be sure you budget both time and money for activities you enjoy. Of course, to budget for those activities you need to have a budget, which we think would be an excellent idea for everybody. Number 6, if you receive payments from an annuity, a trust, a pension, or an insurance settlement, that will end if you remarry, and you'll need to check your documents very carefully to see if this is the case. Consider carefully before you choose to remarry or stay single. Living with a partner is increasingly common and accepted in the United States, but it's an individual decision that needs to be made with full awareness of all of its financial, emotional, and moral aspects. Number 7, if you do have a partner, it's essential for both of you to execute financial and health powers of attorney. If you want your partner to make decisions you are incapable of making for yourself. You may also want to discuss whether and how much you should be authorized to make decisions for one another's parents or other family members. If you don't have either a partner or a close family member, then it's important to find a friend or an advisor that you would trust to hold your powers of attorney. Without these, it's up to the decision of a judge and state law as to who makes the decision, and it could be somebody that you would not choose. Number 8, if you live with a partner in a home that's owned by the partner, you should have a renter's insurance policy to cover your own separate personal property. It will not be covered by your partner's policy. And you also need your own liability protection, as it probably isn't covered by your partner's insurance. You also need to plan for the need to cover living expenses for just yourself at some point in the future. You may not be living with them forever. So it's important. I have several clients that have this type of arrangement, and we have assumed living expenses starting, pick a time, in 5 years or so into their cash flow plans for retirement, because obviously their expenses would increase if they were not living with their partner. Number 9, understand that living as a single person doesn't mean limiting yourself or putting your life on hold. You don't need to be in a relationship before you can enjoy yourself. Now, it's true, married people are happier than single people, but the research shows married people that have happy marriages are happier than single people. Married people who are in bad marriages are not happier than single people. In fact, research shows their happiness goes up when they get out of the relationship. So I guess it's kind of which side of the fence is the grass greener on. Now, if you want to travel, do it. Check into cruises and tours that cater to singles. Find a friend to travel with you, or just head out on your own. When you travel, you'll find all sorts of people of the same mindset, and you just always will make friends along the way. Singles can easily lose sight of the fact that happiness tends to be increased by spending money for experiences rather than things. Again, that's a well-documented study. And finally, educate yourself about the basics of investing, retirement planning, and managing your money rather than blindly turning your finances over to someone else. Now, of course, don't hesitate to use the services of financial advisors. But remember that the responsibility for your financial health is ultimately up to you. Thanks for listening.